Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the University of Narwal. It's really a tale of how sheer vision and just pure determination planted a seed of knowledge, a seed that grew to completely transform an entire region. So let's get into it and explore exactly how they pulled it off. And that question really gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? I mean, building a university, it's not just about brick and mortar classrooms. It's about completely reshaping an economy, a culture, and the future for literally thousands of people. So how did they do it in Narwal? Let's find out.
Okay, so it all kicks off with a really bold mission, one that was born out of both necessity and ambition. And to get why this university is so special, you first have to understand the place it calls home. So the setting here is Narwal. Picture this. It's a district right on the border in Punjab, historically pretty underserved. For generations, its economy was all about agriculture. And while that's super important, it created a problem. If you were a young person there and you wanted to get a higher education or a technical job, well, your path almost always led you away from home to one of the bigger cities.
So what was the solution? Well, it was audacious, to say the least. It was called the Education City Project, and this was championed by its founder, Professor S. Iqbal. The idea here was not just to, build a college. No, it was to create an entire ecosystem of higher learning, something that could act as a real engine for the whole region's development.
All right, so the mission was set. And what comes next is a story of truly explosive growth. I mean, we're not talking about some slow, century-long evolution here. This was a flat-out sprint from a tiny campus to a full-fledged autonomous university.
And the speed of this transformation is just staggering. Seriously, look at this. The journey kicks off in 2012, and it's just a small satellite campus. But by 2018, just 6 years later, it becomes a fully independent university. And then, in the years right after, it undergoes this massive physical expansion. It's just an incredibly fast journey from a basic concept to a huge reality. And this comparison right here really shows you the scale of that change. I mean, think about it. The university went from operating out of temporary buildings in the city center to a sprawling modern campus of over 100 acres with brand new state-of-the-art facilities. It's like the physical manifestation of the institution's soaring ambition. So, what has all this incredible growth actually built? Let's take a peek inside the university as it stands today. What does this education city actually look and feel like right now? Well, the first thing you have to wrap your head around is the scale. We're talking about over 5,000 students. Just let that sink in. That's 5,000 individual futures being shaped right there, and 5,000 people pumping life into the local economy and the intellectual environment. And believe me, it's not a small operation academically either. The university is organized into 7 distinct faculties. We're talking everything from the Faculty of Science and IT to Business and Social Sciences. This kind of breadth is so important because it ensures they can cater to a really wide range of interests and meet all sorts of different economic needs. And here's a crucial point. UON isn't just a teaching institution, it's a full-on, research-oriented university. It's really starting to make a name for itself in some cutting-edge fields like biotechnology and computer science. It's become this hub for innovation, way outside the country's traditional academic centers. And this commitment to research, it's backed up by a complete academic structure. We're talking about the whole shebang, from bachelor's degrees or BS programs all the way up to MPhil and PhD programs. This means students can now complete their entire higher education journey right there in Narwal. Okay, so all of this growth, all this academic achievement, it's super impressive, right? But it begs the big question, so what? What has the real-world impact actually been? How has this university really changed life for the people of Narwal? Well, this quote right here pretty much says it all. The key word is fundamentally. This wasn't just some minor tweak to the local area. No, we're talking about a complete reshaping of the region's character and its future. And the transformation is it's so stark when you look at it. Before UON, the economy was pretty much all agriculture. This drove talented young people away, the classic brain drain. But now we're seeing the rise of a service-based, tech-focused economy. And it's powered by a local workforce that can finally build a career and a life right where they grew up. It goes beyond just the economic numbers. There's been a real cultural shift, too. By bringing high-level academia into the district, UNON has kind of ignited this new curiosity, this intellectual vibrancy. It's fostered a culture where research and new ideas aren't just accepted, they're actually celebrated. But here's the thing. This story doesn't just stop at the district border. A huge part of UN's success is how it's managed to connect this local transformation to the much bigger picture, nationally and even globally. See, UON hasn't been growing in a bubble. It's fully accredited by Pakistan's Higher Education Commission, it's plugged into major initiatives like the CPEC Consortium of Universities, and, crucially, its quality standards are aligned internationally. And that's why its graduates are now landing spots in top universities in the UK, the US, and China. It has literally become a local gateway to the global stage. And this is why it matters so much on a national scale. The University of Narowal is basically a perfect model for Pakistan's Vision 2025 initiative. That's a huge national strategy aimed at creating a knowledge-based economy. UON proves that if you decentralize quality education, you can uplift entire regions and build a much more equitable country for everyone. So there you have it. From a tiny satellite campus to a regional powerhouse, the University of Narowal has built an absolutely incredible foundation. And that leaves us with one final, fascinating question to think about. Once you've successfully built an education city, what does it grow into next? What does the future really hold when an entire generation is empowered by knowledge like this?